Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Please give me a one if you can hear me. Sorry, I was playing our intro song and everyone said they couldn't hear it. So let me go ahead and share the screen so you can hear our intro. Welcome in. So good to see you this evening. I want to know, put a one in the chat if you can hear.
We gather here as a family, searching clues to find the missing kids around this world, searching far and wide, things that make us cry. Sometimes they are found safe, but many don't get out alive. We fight for justice, for the voiceless. We help one another look
You hear the
for
song?
evidence. Turn it in and hope they listen to the clues we found, even if it is small. These children.
Some of you are saying you cannot. I hear Jay and the music. Okay, perfect. Thank you. We're going to keep going.
Our blessings and didn't ask for this. But some aren't even given simple things like love, a little hug, I'm proud of you, just a compliment. Crime Time Buzz is always there looking for answers and help us find you out there. Are you hiding from someone that hurts you? Or did they remove you from this earth because they simply didn't care? Just so you know, America cares. We cry. You notice that you're missing from a dinner table, a holiday, another birthday come and gone. God is with you, my darling, we're trying to find you, searching every day, just so you can play another day. Don't give up on those that really care. You are precious and beautiful, smart and kind, and tomorrow we hope to find you. You are precious and beautiful, smart and kind, and tomorrow we hope to find you.
Thank you again to Donna Whispering Winds. Be kind to everyone for writing that song for our channel. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We are going to be talking again to Sebastian Rogers. Oh, you can hear my dogs in the background. Sorry, y'all. 1 second. Share this tab instead. Stacy says, I just shared the FBI flyer on TikTok. Thank you, Stacy. Yes. Seth Rogers went on last night. He shared many pieces of information. It's always hard to watch him because it's so heartbreaking. But the strength is always resonating, isn't it? He's a strong person who's starting a movement, and he's going to be serving, he said, the sheriff and the DA. So that'll be interesting to see what's coming down. Now, please remember, he wants us to use the FBI flyer. For some reason, Sumner County Sheriff's Office does not. I thought they were working together. I don't know why it's always a competition to keep it in your own little office, but maybe it's that fear if everyone starts only focusing. I don't know. Maybe they're just afraid it's going to get handed off to a federal level and people are going to have to start giving some answers, in my opinion. Okay. Doodle Mom 2 says, Seth's strength inspires me. Absolutely. Hey, Pebbles, good to see you. Oh, Gypsy woke up with a headache from crying so much. Yes, it is very hard to watch. And I think for me, what's really hard is we talked a little bit about what Seth Rogers said last night. And even the way he was speaking to KP, it just shows he just wants he and her to find their son, to be able to talk and not have to involve thing one. Thank you all for being here. I really do think the time is coming. I think things are heating up. The fact that Brandon Carter, Seth shared with us, was mad about America's Most Wanted coming, I think is very telling. Instead of being proud of your town, that the whole world's going to be looking and proud of your investigation, he thought it was ridiculous. Ridiculous Sebastian would get such attention. I think things are heating up. I think that explains why we don't have the marshals in. They don't want someone else in there. But we're going to talk about this because it's important. What Seth was saying last night to KP, I've seen a lot of things all over the internet about it today. And it was from his heart. And I don't think that it's anything other than let's find our son together, please. Let's be able to talk without Thing having to be involved in the middle. Right? So thank you all for being here. We are going to have a show about how he has contributed to this search. First of all, for those of you new to the case, the person in the jumpsuit on the thumbnail is Sebastian Rogers' stepfather. He has not been arrested. It is something I got off of X from at night. If he had been arrested, I would have been calling and I would have been on immediately, but he has not. No one has been arrested. No one is being accused, but his behavior does baffle us. So Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was reported missing on February 26, 2024. It was trash day, and as the sheriff at the time pointed out a very good point, he went missing before the trash was picked up, and he was reported missing after. The stepfather claimed his alibi was he had his little Fanny in his crane at 5:45 or 5:30 a.m. Okay. Yes, I know that's been debunked, but I'm just saying what he said. So, unfortunately, your alibi needed to begin the night before. So then we had some person, oh yeah, I drove by and saw him there. Not an alibi. He complains about Seth's alibi, and that's what he gives. Oh, I totally agree. I agree completely. Seth, that's why I wouldn't comment on it. Seth was really talking to his heart. Let's find our child. This is between you and me. Let's get Thing out of the way. Let's get Thing out of the way and work together. And I really admire him for saying that last night because they, in my opinion, they've put him through heck and back. But he still wants to work together because what's the goal? Finding Sebastian. So I very much respect him. I very much respect him for doing that and saying that to KP last night because that's a father, that's a parent, that's nothing else matters, but let's bring Sebastian home. So I very much respect him. Those commenting and making jokes or whatever on the internet, I don't care because I respect that he did that. Because he left a door open for her to have a chance to say, Seth, I do want to work together. I do want to find Sebastian. He opened that door with all the conflict that's been going on. So I really, really do respect him for doing that. He does want the FBI flyer, Sebastian's army circulated. Please continue to circulate the flyers. And please go over to change.org here. I will copy the link and sign this petition. Here is the link. I put it in this morning's live too. Seth is trying to get someone else on the case again. He has also explained to us last night that he is trying to get an appointment with the FBI. But as we could see, Kash Patel's been dealing with the Epstein case. He's also trying to get in with local FBI. He cannot run. He cannot run for sheriff, he said, because if he would have to live in the county and they would make sure, in his opinion, to keep putting him in jail. Sadly, that's how it goes in Sumner County, my friends. Hold on one second. If you're in the bushes and everyone welcome in, I have a comment here. Jay, I just left the show and she broke in and said she just got a phone call about the White House wants all info, videos, whatever. So this is wonderful news. They want to know what's going on. Hallelujah. That is great news. And that's what we're saying is the pressure is on and biggies are watching. So enjoy those spaghetti dinners. Enjoy the biscuit jokes. Enjoy dressing up like sheriff, everyone. Margaret, could you do me a favor and put initials down so I know? Hi, Lisa Don. So I know who? So I can go watch that? Thank you, Margaret. I appreciate that. The White House. So if you don't want America's Most Wanted there, and if you didn't watch our live today, please watch it after this. It's very telling that Brandon Carter thought it was ridiculous Sebastian was getting awareness. Well, I would think, oh, come on, you know? Of course, they haven't been giving it. They didn't want someone else to give it. So now imagine how they'll feel when the White House starts looking in on it. Especially now that Craddock's got another new big house. I'm looking into it. I found some information on it. I'm just verifying that it is indeed him and the place. And yes, I will bring that to you tomorrow if I can get it all put together. He's got a new house. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's over $1 million. Oh, but don't worry about him, friends. He paid $99 in taxes, allegedly. Shocking. Yes, this says Jay, just left a show and she broke in and said she got a phone call about White House, wants all the information, videos, whatever. So this is wonderful news. They want to know what's going on. Thank you for signing the petition, RKB. The petition is in the link, or in the petition link is in the chat. I'm so glad, Kathy. Hi, Let Them 66. Glad you're in the bushes. Everyone in the bushes, hello. We are going to, oh, I need to plug my computer in. Hold on. We're going to end up dying here. 1 second. I am going to share a video that I want to share. Some repeats to remind us of some things. You all remember the, hold on. Let me plug this in before we lose it. Hold on. 1 second, everyone. I'm just going to mute for 1 second and plug in. I've been on my computer all day. One moment. Okay, I'm back. Before I share what I'm going to share, we're trying to find out from Margaret who broke in, whose show this happened on. We all love you, Margaret. Just will you give us initials of what show you were watching, please? Thank you. Hi, Casey. Hello, everyone coming in. Thank you for signing the petition for Seth Rogers as you entered. I appreciate it. If you did not, hi, Detective Whiskers. If you did not, please sign it after this. You're in the tree. Hi, Lisa Don. Good to see you. Hey, Carla. Everyone here, welcome in. I'm not sure. Margaret, would someone watch the chat? So when Margaret does reply what show, we can all watch it later, please. I understand the interview room had a very good show as well, which was sent to me that I will go watch. Yes, I would love to watch it too. I see. I see? Margaret said it's I see. What is I see? Is that IC or LC? Oh, LC? What's LC? I don't know who that is either. Who is LC? Help me out. Write it in the chat. If you're in the bushes, we're trying to find out who heard from the White House. Got it. Okay. Got it. Thank you so very, very much. Appreciate it. It's in the chat, my friends. Thank you very much. Very good news because we need this to move forward. I'm going to share something with you that was from I'm going to share this with you from the Peter Hyatt, rest in peace, statement analyst who covered Sebastian's case. He had Lauren McConklin on, and she was telling about a situation. This was quite a while ago, about someone who had said they saw CP and Sebastian in the store together. The reason I'm bringing this up is I want to talk about a little bit about what Chris Proudfoot has contributed to since his stepson went missing. Other than losing his top, other than cussing people out, other than not searching, other than telling conflicting stories, in my opinion, other than saying Katie can't talk to anyone without him there, other than not letting people on properties, not letting people on his family's properties to search. And thank you, Robin. I saw that you said they have a new update out and a new message, and I will go to it after this. I'm not sure if you all heard this before, but I do want you to hear it. It's a little upsetting. This is Peter Hyatt and Lauren Conklin, and they are talking about the Sebastian case. I'm just going to play a couple minutes so you can hear what eyewitnesses told her occurred in a grocery store when Chris took Sebastian.
They're very angry. I'm looking for a quote, just very angry. A lot of mothers of autistic children are following this case, and they're very angry. They're very emotional, and they're very angry. I'm looking for a quote, just if I could for a moment.
Yeah, I can share something as well while you find that.
Go up.
A local source did indicate that somebody saw something fairly recently, an incident with Sebastian at a grocery store where Chris allegedly was very forceful and rough with him, so much so that Sebastian hid behind a cash register. So I'm looking into that, and I'm going to be reaching out to that grocery store to see if they have any additional information about that, if they witnessed that, because that, again, is just one more instance of just pure and utter heartbreak. Somebody saw something fairly recently, an incident with Sebastian at a grocery store where Chris allegedly was very forceful and rough with him, so much so that Sebastian hid behind a cash register. So I'm looking into that.
It takes a lot to be a stepfather. And when you're a stepfather, you have to remember that child is part of the package. You don't put your hands on them. You don't belittle them. You don't do things that generate CPS reports. You don't hit them with a belt. You do what you can to form a bond in a relationship. I wanted you to hear that. Hi, Minnie. Thank you for being here to Maud. Hey, Be Kind. Thank you for being here to Maud. Aren't you on your honeymoon? You silly girl. Our friend Be Kind to Everyone is a new bride 2 days in. Congratulations, my friend. I played that a year ago. That's been out for quite a while, and I wanted you all to hear that because, we need to talk about this. Why is he not searching? He said they wanted him Chris Proudfoot said they wanted him to be able to be reachable and therefore not to search. And he said that in April, a few months after Sebastian went missing, when we had seen him in motorcycle shops. He had been here, he had been there. They could sure reach him then, right? With his little cell phone in his pocket. You leave Saturday. Oh, I can't wait to hear about it. And I hope you have just a blessed time. Be Kind. He is not contributing other than distraction, dressing up like a sheriff, making jokes. the story, the narrative changing, not letting people search, trying to run people off. Let's not forget what the audio with the PI recently. Let's not forget that one. I wonder, what does he think he's contributing? Like if he sees the world watching, let's say the White House comes, okay? Here comes the White House. They're now looking at absolutely everything. They're coming in. And they say to him, sir, what have you done? Well, I went out searching, and then out comes the photo of him searching with two buddies and one doing DRUGSs. Where's your other search? What else have you been doing? Oh, gee, let me explain. I do things like this.
Apologize, but I'm just sick and tired of listening to this fucking bitch.
To make a comment, I will let you know again.
Yeah.
That bitch couldn't get fucked if she ran through a field of dicks backwards with her ass cheeks spread wide the fuck open. So you can play that shit for that bitch to hear. You really want to fucking know. She ain't had her fucking feelings crushed, but I'll do my minimum to fucking destroy her fucking feelings. Because quite honestly, that bitch needs to close her fucking mouth before she can stuff a whole goddamn turkey in it and choke on the fucking chicken leg on the way down. And hell, by doing it, she might actually do something good for her kids and her husband.
That's the kind of person Sebastian dealt with every day. That's the kind of person that was living in the home with him. Hi, YouTuber. Thank you for being here. That's the kind of person who acts like he was a good stepdad. Thank you for the trigger warning. Thank you. It's very, very upsetting. He has not contributed.
We know that how that goes. I may be way off, but I feel Bobby Simmons because Bobby has started communicating with him again instead of going through me.
Listen.
So that line of communication's open back.
I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth. I promise you, it won't ever open again.
Yeah.
We will see. I promise you, if Bobby told Seth anything of what he's told us, Seth opens his fucking mouth. I promise you, it won't ever open again.
That is Chris Proudfoot saying, I promise if Bobby on the first name basis, which is Bobby Simmons, special agent from TBI, has told Seth anything and Seth opens his mouth, he'll never open it again. That sounds like a threat to me. That's what Sebastian lived with. Now imagine some autistic children have trouble assessing people's moods or meanings. Imagine living with that where you're walking on eggshells trying to have to worry what's going to come out of this guy's mouth every day. But what I can tell you is people are watching, and I have been saying that. Now we know a creator got a phone call, wants the White House wants everything. The White House. So guess what? If the White House wants everything, that would mean that they're looking into this. They're looking into this. And if they are looking into this, that means that they're higher up than Craddock and Carter. Obviously. And they'll probably have to reach out to them too and get everything they have. But when he's asked what he has contributed, when we get someone who's not someone who he knows, not someone he's helped move the last 2 weeks, like allegedly has Eric Craddock, which is shocking to me. When he gets someone who contacts him from the White House and says, we want to know what you've done to help your stepson. We're curious because we've been watching your mouth and listening to it. What have you done positive? You wanted the billboards down. You screamed about those. The way you treated a private investigator when they showed up your door, you didn't have curiosity if the PI knew something. You didn't have curiosity if the PI knew something. You just both jumped on top and screamed about your private property. You haven't been searching. You've been going on YouTube threatening the father that he won't have a mouth to open, threatening other YouTubers, saying they need a new sheriff in town. What has he done positive to contribute? What has he done positive to contribute? The Trump is coming for the chump. Love it. Love it. A lot wrote to the White House. Yes. Summer Rain said, I sent a big letter to the White House, and so did a lot of us. Well, guess what? It's working. Okay? It's working. They're hearing us. They're hearing us. I'm absolutely delighted. I love it that they're hearing it. I love it that they want every video, because in those videos, they're going to hear that mouth, in my opinion. Things are moving. And that's why the title of this today is indeed, the time is coming. So eat your biscuit quick. And the reason I say eat your biscuit quick is because Craddock and them, they think they're funny when they talk about crime. It's the greatest news ever. It's the greatest news ever, my friends. If we get the White House, they're interested. They're calling. Apparently they called Lowry, is what I'm hearing. Okay. They're calling. They want everything. Now, let's hear the big mouth now. That's what I want to know. And when the White House comes in, they'll find Sebastian. They'll uncover corruption, misconduct, and anything else that might be going on. We don't know. We're alleging. But they're coming in. They're interested. They're paying attention. And this is the person standing in front of you who's going to have he and KP are going to have a lot of answers to provide. Why aren't you searching? Why can't you tell one straight narrative? Where were you the night before, sir? Well, that guy drove by and called and told everyone he saw me. Sorry, buddy. We need an alibi. Where were you the night before? Where were you? They're going to ask all those questions. Do you think he's going to be able to tell the White House staff, don't step foot on my property or anyone in my family's? No, he's not. He's not. And I had the audio pulled up from them with the PIs, and we'll listen to that again too. But what I want to share with you, we're going to go to X real quick. Got it right here. I'm going to go to at night. I'm going to share this right here. This is from this post right here that I was sharing was from November 12th. But before I do, I'm going to go back up to the top and see what posts they made. I don't see a new post. Oh, okay. Yeah, they've put this up again. That he is still missing Hi, Reba. Do you think Crispy knows Trump is coming? I bet he knows now. I bet he knows now. So where he's going to blow his biscuits, that right? Because when, like Eric Craddock says, if you're going to commit a crime, eat a biscuit. No one's been arrested mid-biscuit. Well, you better eat your biscuit quick. Because I will say this, when the White House comes in, from what we're hearing is happening, they're asking for everything. When that actually happens, there's going to be a lot of questions. And do you really think they're going to care who's buddies with who? I hope they reach out to Sean Taylor, who was uncovering corruption and was treated so poorly with his house having nugs hitting the windows while his family's inside of it. I hope that they contact a lot of people, but I think I look most forward to them talking to Katie and Chris. Yeah, someone says, I wonder how Sheriff Struggle likes this news. I'm sure if they weren't happy with America Most Wanted coming, imagine how they feel with the White House. And for those of you who wrote to the White House, congratulations. You did something really good for Sebastian Rogers. Really good for Sebastian Rogers. There's just been so much. And I think it's really hard because as people who care about the missing children, when we see people like Ashley Buzzard, whose daughter Melody's missing and she won't open her mouth or tell anything, Oakley Carlson's parents, they don't look, they don't care. People who don't report their child missing, who can't give one straight truth, it's hard to watch. And when you have an investigation going on that involves local relationships, and we've talked about it, the good old boys, you need someone to come in and break it up. So I'm going to ask Mr. Proudfoot, Mrs. Proudfoot, Mr. Bowersox, Mrs. Bowersox, Mr. Craddock, Mr. Carter, Mr. Carr, how do y'all feel that the White House is calling? The White House wants everything. So that means they're going to hear the lies. They're going to get to hear the mother, the last person. Hi, Charlene. For those of you just coming in, apparently the White House has contacted a content creator. It was not me, so I can't tell you firsthand, but apparently they have asked for everything, all videos, all information. So when they come in and they start watching videos where the mom says, I went to bed at midnight, we had a 3-hour call. Then it goes to, I went to bed at 11 and it's a 2-hour call. And the father who says stepfather who says his alibis at 5:45 a.m. sitting in a crane, but can't explain for himself for the 4-day weekend he had off. When we have threats to the father saying you'll never be able to open your mouth again, the stepfather threatening other creators, them seeing no truthful narrative from the two of them, and hearing Chris Proudfoot say law enforcement knows they better call me first and we both better be here together because they're not talking to her alone because it's safety in numbers. Wow. Things are heading in the right direction. Things are heading in the right direction. Thank you for the super sticker. That is very thoughtful. Let them 66 for the $1.49. I truly do appreciate it. I know the holidays are coming up and we all need to watch our money. So thank you so much. Peggy, thank you so much for 3 months. Peggy says, check information. Don't think it's correct. We will. I will go watch afterwards. Don't choke on your biscuit, rotten foots. Lady Roses for member for 10 months. All I'm hearing is it happened, and I will find out Mama Davis says, I don't get it. He was in his house with his mother. There's no video of him leaving and his mother is walking free. Yes, Mama Davis, that's what's happening. His mother said she went home from the Texas Roadhouse with him on February 26th. The last any of us have ever seen Sebastian is on that footage, leaving the Texas Roadhouse. Allegedly, according to her, they went straight home. She said that numerous times. So, of course, what is that? She doth protest too much, in my opinion. And that the doors were locked when they went to bed, and the doors were locked when they woke up. But he was gone. Law enforcement has said no breaking and entering. There's no scent trail leading anywhere that Sebastian did. There's no evidence Sebastian left that home on his own. So if she's going to stick to that story, what's going to happen is she's pointing the finger at the few other people who have access to the locked house, because there is no breaking and entering, according to law enforcement, and all of the above. So she's pointing the finger at Melissa, her mother-in-law, Kathy, and her husband, Chris. Because if it's not her and she's innocent, it's someone who had access to the house. And those are the ones. Nicey, thank you so much for your donation and your hard work on the case too. They will be eating burnt biscuits, in my opinion. Yes. And laughing about it all the way, I hope, because you know what? They've had so much fun with their little laughs and their big houses and their hiding of deeds and their switching around of things. But they're not going to fool, if this is true, the White House. And I will go over and I will watch that show tonight and listen to it. And maybe I'll even reach out to Lolly and see what's going on. But we don't allow in this country, and like Seth Rogers said, we need a movement to stop the nonsense, a movement to stop parents from having to beg law enforcement to help them find their missing children. A movement when a father's standing on a corner with a microphone trying to raise awareness and get attention from Sumner County, that they all shuffle away and leave. A movement that doesn't build big offices for people to sit in when they should be out searching, investigating. There has not been a search. The last search was the landfill with Sonny Weatherford. Let me show you something. Oh, sorry, y'all. Did I lose you? Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. I want to show you a picture and remind you of this picture. Let me share it. It's from the landfill. It's been said they found something. It's been said dogs hit on something. Sonny Weatherford said in a report that's been buried well, and I do have it in one of my videos. One of you asked, and I just have not had a minute to locate that one. Sonny said what they found, they were going to go home and analyze. And he's the sheriff before Craddock. What they found, they were going to go home and analyze and determine if they had to return to the landfill. This image to me shows them looking at something they may have found. Could have been a bed sheet, could have been anything. But I think what's going to happen is we need to focus on the individuals who have not contributed to helping. That would be Mama Socks, Papa Socks, Sister Socks, Dirty Foot, and KP, and possibly some people who were supposed to be investigating. Also, I've been looking for the interview after Dog and Nat Night came and Craddock and them got a little scared and did an interview in December around Sebastian's birthday, sitting with Nick Barris, Craddock was, and he said that they did indeed have evidence, blah, blah, blah. I can't find that interview now. It looks like it's been taken down. Can anyone else find that interview for me and send it to me? Why would you take it down? Could it be perhaps because every other interview he says basically he's got nothing? but suddenly popped up in December saying he had something. For those of you, Peggy, thank you so much. And Lady Roses, for your dedication to the channel, 10 months and 3 months. Thank you so much. What we have to know, what we have to remember is that Sebastian Rogers is missing. He is a constituent of Sumner County. He deserves what absolutely everyone else deserved to have in Sumner County, whether he was one of the good old boys or not. Because originally, when the office was called in Sumner County asking if Sheriff Craddock had a relationship with Chris Proudfoot or anyone in the office had a relationship with the Proudfoots, the answer was Sheriff Craddock does not have a relationship with the Proudfoots. Well, I'm allegedly hearing that Clue and Cletus apparently were sharing on their channel very openly that the last couple of weeks, the Dirty Foots have been helping Craddock move into his new mansion. That sounds like a relationship to me. What has he contributed to help? And it's real easy to do nothing but act like an a-hole when your buddy's sheriff, allegedly, or lead detective or lead special agent of TBI. But what are you going to tell Secret Service or the White House or anyone else who comes knocking? How do you explain who you are and how you act? I don't think we've ever seen a step parent. Well, I take that back. Remember Letitia? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. I don't think we cement this is a step parent who hits him with a belt, who says, you thought you were going to get me kicked out of my own home. That bothers me so much. I still think that's part of the motive. And I'm telling you, what if on her way home, when she pulled over allegedly at BP with that, talking to that official looking dark SUV, and the person who sent the tip said, she told Sebastian to get out. This is alleged. I can't confirm it. What if they told him he was in trouble for calling CPS, so he had to go away to save from being put in jail? And that's how they got him. Just a thought. I don't put anything past someone who will take a child. This person in front of you has spent his 2 years wanting billboards taken down. I'm waiting for an X update to come out. And that's what I'm waiting for right now. A billboard to come out down. He didn't like the billboards. Why don't you like the billboards? They're talking to the criminals. Reminding everyone in the community Sebastian's still missing. You didn't like that. Huh. It shouldn't have bothered him in the least. It should never have evoked the kind of explosion.
So fuck that bitch. I'm sick and tired of listening to this fucking bitch run her mouth about me, my wife, my family, and anybody else out there. When that bitch she ain't fucking no angel. She ain't no goddamn perfect person. Fuck her.
I can't argue any of that, but you
And
can.
anybody that fucks with her can fuck off too.
I agree.
That's the type of person we're dealing with. But what I will tell you is when you put that kind of person behind bars, they're real tough. They're real tough when it comes to women and children. But let's see him go up against a man. Let's see him go up against a man. Okay? You are so sweet. You all, thank you for your kind compliments I'm seeing in the chat. Thank you so much. Let's see him go up against a man. Maybe, we'll see what happens. It's real easy to smack a girl in the mouth and make her a little girl in the mouth, hurt her braces and make her lip bleed. when you're a man and she's little. It's really easy to hit a kid with a belt when he's terrified of you and half your size. But let's see what you do up against real men. I'm still the firm believer that if Chris Proudfoot is in any way involved and does go to jail, which he should, in my opinion, already be in for his CPS alleged reports, he will be the first one to sing because he is used to mama socks, feeding him, caring for him, and doing everything else for him, protecting him, and everything else. But when they aren't there, what's he going to be like? When he doesn't have Brandon and Bobby and Mama Socks and all his buddies just to sell, what would happen? Do you know what would happen? We'd see not a man, we'd see the mouse appear. And he'd start turning on people, in my opinion. I was just in Lolly's live, and it is true, says his I7. Thank you so much for sharing that. So the White House has called. They are wanting everything. So they will be listening to this foul, vile mouth. They will be seeing everything he's done and said for 2 years and everything he hasn't done and said for 2 years. They will be listening to KP and her inconsistencies. They will be wondering why she's outliving her best life, and I bet they'll be asking some questions to investigators. They'll be asking Chris Proudfoot where he was Sunday night. And he won't get to just give some guy driving by. He's going to have to prove it. They'll be asking KP some questions. They'll be asking Sumner County some questions. Wait till the White House sees the father begging Sumner County to help him over and over and over again and getting nothing from them. Seth Rogers was on last night. This is his son. This is his child. This is his mission, and this is his sad life right now, that he doesn't have time with his son right now. They have one detective on it. They won't call in anyone else. And Brandon Carter, the detective, has other cases. So he's not just on Sebastian's case. He has other cases. So one detective on several cases, not raising awareness, not putting out flyers, not talking about him. Seth will call and they'll say he's busy in court on other cases. Tim Bailey retired last year. I want to look into that. Was that unexpected, just like Whitley's escape? So we'll see what's going to happen. But when you don't tell the truth and you're all over the internet flapping that jaw, you gave everyone evidence of the kind of human being you are. Everyone evidence of the kind of human being you are. I'm going to go to X real quick and check on something. Okay, so and I just wanted to come on here tonight and share a few things with you. One, that I've heard Craddock has bought a nice big house. Two, that I think I found it. And I just need to verify before I bring it to you because I don't want to be wrong. Three, if it is correct, he lives quite close to the Stinky Socks now. Now imagine, how did he afford that kind of house? He was in fighting for a raise during the ransom. He couldn't be bothered with a ransom for Sebastian. He had to go fight for a raise. If I am correct, it is a home that is assessed over $1 million. Paid $175,000 for the land. Built a big home. Paid $99 in tax. I mean, it's just, or that was car, excuse me. That was a mistake. So, but I will bring that to you, but I'm researching it. But allegedly, Clue and Cletus were talking about the Proudfoot spending 2 weeks helping him move in. I thought he had no relationship with the Proudfoots. So for those of you listening, he does have a relationship, because you wouldn't just do that with someone you don't know. And they're moving, if I have the right place, right off of Hartsville Pike, not far from the Bower Sox. And how in the world can he afford $1 million home? Sean Taylor says in Sumner County, he was uncovering a ST ring and a D ring. And he said Sebastian's, that sighting in Millersville at the Motel 6 was connected to Sebastian, and it was connected to it. He says they called in a favor to TBI, and TBI raided his office and took all the files. Then next thing you know how criminals work. His windows were being nugged. His family was in there. Someone tried to hit him head on in a car, one of the people he was exposing. If you think you're safe in Sumner County, you are not. You're only safe in Sumner County, in my opinion, if you're one of the good old boys. So I ask again, Eric, Brandon, Chris, it's time. Those of you who haven't been investigating, it's time to investigate. Those of you who have been wearing your name on your own shirt, running your own campaign against yourself, have spaghetti with the sheriff. Got a lot of nerve advertising so much about yourself and not a missing child. Not a missing child. So Dirtyfoot, where was he? Do you think Dirtyfoot was in town that weekend? Do you think he stayed 4 days in an RV when he had a 4-day weekend? I don't. Do you think that they were separated when law enforcement first showed up? I don't. Mama Sox was worrying about what jewelry, what rings Chris was going to buy her. Why did Chris promise her rings? Allegedly, in my opinion, could it be for getting up so early that morning and being on New Hope Road outside of Beach Market waiting? So when KP came up at 6 a.m., you were already there? Because let's not forget. Let me show you. Thank you. I got it. Thank you. I got it. I'll be putting it up right now. Right? So tell me, what do you guys think? Let's look at this for a second again. I want to show you something. If we go to, what was I doing? Where was I going to here on this? I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I know where I'm going with this. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Let me go right there. I'm going to put in okay. This is important because if you weren't in our live the other day when I showed this, I want to show it to you again. Allegedly, this is where CB was sitting that morning between 5 and 5:58. Allegedly, several people saw her. Allegedly, several people reported it to law enforcement. Allegedly, several people also told law enforcement there were trail cams where she could be caught on that as well. And allegedly, they never made it to Warsham's, and Warsham's never even looked at their footage, obviously, and saw anything on there, allegedly. But think about it this way. KP's driving here. She's coming to the high school at 6 a.m. Here's the plan. Now, this is my alleged theory. Okay, Mom, you get in place from Gallatin, you're going to drive 25 miles in the morning and be waiting for KP. KP's going to call me at 6 a.m. to show I'm in Memphis. She's going to start driving to the high school at 6 a.m. Here she goes. She's going to come into the high school where she originally, for over a year, claimed she was searching. But on the year mark, she told Dateline by the time she arrived, she was told to turn around. She was told to turn around. So wouldn't it make sense to fit into the narrative? Oh, here she goes. She's turning around, coming out the back way. Oop, boom. 6 o'clock in the morning, and CB's there too. That's what I think happened. I think it was a plan. And I think that's why they were right there. I think, okay, I got it. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, I am going to share this with you guys real quick. This is an important update that's coming out about Summer and Sebastian. Okay. And like I told you, I do know that, let's just read it. The area of Springdale, Arkansas is very important because the Wells family has been spotted out there. As someone mentioned in my chat the other day, I didn't spill it to you all. You all verified you knew. They stay in a motel out there. They have been sighted out in Springdale, Arkansas. Also, there are relatives related to Chris Proudfoot living just a few miles from that motel. So let's go ahead and read what At Night is saying here. I would like to share with you what At Night is saying about, we have a brand new update just came out. This update is from 4 minutes ago. Okay. Be on the lookout. At Night Creative Intelligence on behalf of Seth Rogers for his son, Sebastian Rogers. And Seth is so strong, you guys. Last night, so powerful. I loved what he said. His memories aren't over with Sebastian. They're just on pause. He's going to bring him home. And we have to remember there hasn't been anything that has proven Sebastian is no longer with us. And as a matter of fact, the fact that KP got him a haircut between the Strike and Spare and Texas Roadhouse points to me, I don't think you'd do that if you were planning to unalive someone. But if you were planning to do something else with them, put them with a relative, put them in a school, allegedly, you might get them a haircut. Be on the lookout. At Night Creative Intelligence. On behalf of Seth Rogers for his son, Sebastian Rogers. Area Springdale, Arkansas. Northwest Arkansas corridor. Status active public alert. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, male, date of birth, December 7th, 2008, approximately 5'5", 120 pounds, brown, blonde hair, brown, hazel eyes, often wears black, square frame glasses. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to mute. I have to take this real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay, thank you guys for your patience. So Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, male, date of birth, December 7th, 2008, approximately 5'5", 120 pounds, brown hair, brownish blonde hair, brown hazel eyes, and Seth explained they change with mood, often wears black square framed glasses, last seen February 25th, 2024 in Hendersonville, Tennessee. That's the last public proof of life. I don't think we can go by anything else because there wasn't one truth. And if you don't have one truth, let's just ignore it, right? The FBI reward. The FBI reward is up to 50,000. At Night and Dog the Bounty Hunter's reward remains at 500,000 for a total of $550,000 reward. If you, okay, hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pause for 1 second. I apologize. This is important. Okay, I'm sorry I have that dinging going off. I still have to go into my settings, and I apologize, y'all. Hold on. I should have gone into my settings. Please forgive me. I haven't turned it off. So if someone's texting me, it's coming to my phone too right now. So Sammy, welcome to the family. We have a new member, everyone. Please welcome Sammy G. Springdale, Arkansas is important because there's Proudfoots there and there's wells there. And whenever you have a motel like that, you worry about rug trafficking and ST. If you are in or passing through Springdale or the NWA corridor, remain alert in and around lodging properties and transit adjacent lots. If you see a minor lingering, distressed, or approached by multiple adults, call 911 and request a welfare check. That's really good advice. Tip line 844-922-3236, extension 5. Authorization code Sebastian-CB1, or text 844-922-3236 or 332-252-3636. Focus locations, situational awareness, not allegations. Be aware of what might be going on in that area. Concentrate vigilance along I-49 US 412 and South 48th Sunset Thompson corridors. Those are in Springdale, Arkansas. Representative properties include the Holiday Inn, Northwest Arkansas Convention Center, 1500 South 48th Street, Springdale. Hampton Inn and Suites, 1700 South 48th Street, Springdale. Town Place Suites by Marriott Fayetteville, North Springdale, 5437 South 48th Street, Springdale's. 48th Street sounds like quite the corridor there. La Quinta Inn and Suites by Wyndham, 1300 South 48th Street, Springdale. By the way, we do have someone who is a teacher in Springdale area, or who did circulate Sebastian's FBI flyer and information to other teachers teaching in Springdale who are now on the lookout. Doubletree by Hilton at 4677 West Sunset Avenue, Springdale. Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Fayetteville area, 4401 West Sunset Avenue, Springdale. Royal Inn, 1042 48th Place, Springdale. Journeys Inn, 3535 South Thompson Street, Springdale. Super 8 by Wyndham, Springdale, 4540 West Sunset Avenue, Springdale. Adjacent in the same travel quadrangle is in Bentonville, Rogers, and Springdale. You have the Econo Lodge and Inn and Suites, 3609 Southeast Moberly Lane, Bentonville. Note, listing is for awareness only. No wrongdoing is alleged. Why is the heightened vigilance here? This will show you how long they've been looking into Summers' case. Documented local precedent. In 2022, a Springdale Motel's owner was ordered to pay $25.4 million to a T survivor for enabling exploitation on site. Modus operandi seen elsewhere. Traffickers often shift victims between hotels to evade detection. A recent federal case documents movement to another hotel during an active trafficking period before police intervention. So you have motel owners. Remember, we had someone tell us that not only are sometimes it's the owners who know, but also the front desk people are paid off allegedly, and sometimes. So they're not saying that something's going on. They're saying be aware of this area. In 2022, Springdale Motel's owner was ordered to pay $25 million to a T survivor, for enabling exploitation on site, his hotel. They shift and they move them between hotels, homes, etc. Since 2021, At Night has monitored the Summer Wells disappearance using creator operatives. I don't know if you all knew that. By 2022, operatives identified persons of interest for authorities. Through 2023, At Night engaged with Arkansas authorities regarding Wells' immediate family residing in suspicious motels. An attempted field contact by a former operative was rebuffed. Subsequent legal steps were taken with no case outcome. We are renewing focus on Springdale due to persistent U.S. trafficking vectors and observed motel dynamics in NWA. What to report? You give 911 dispatchers specifics. So just to go back on that. So they've been watching for Summer for 4 years. They did know that the Wells were there in motels. They do now know that there are dirty foots there, and they have been working there, surveilling the area. What to report? You give 911 dispatchers specifics. Minors. If you see minors lingering without clear guardian, especially at night or near room doors, stairwells, or parking lots, please call 911 immediately. If you see rapid room turnover, multiple adult males visiting one room, cash handoffs at doors. If you see adults coaching or surveilling minors, use of multiple phones, frequent hail drop-offs. Frequent ride, hails, and drop-offs. If you see vehicle details, get the make, the model, the plate, decals, damage, direction of travel, timestamps, anything you can get. Any sighting of Sebastian, please report his clothing, his glasses, his companions, the vehicle, the exact location and time. How to submit tips. Emergency, call 911. FBI, TBI, Sumner County contacts are listed on the FBI poster. They do remain active. At Night tip line, 844-922-3236, extension 5, the authorization code, Sebastian-CB1. Text 844-922-3236 or At Night again at 332-252-3636. Email mostwanted@manhunts.one. They have been involved in Summer Wells. They have been surveilling for Summer Wells, and they have been watching hotels for Summer Wells. Okay. They are, yes, Texas says a lot of hotels are used as a cover place for HT and ST. Yes, they are. A lot of places near the airports, a lot of rest stops. Truck stops are another one. Okay, so keep your eyes open. But I wanted you to know this is important because it shows you how long they've been surveilling for Summer. They are also surveilling for Sebastian, obviously, and looking for him on behalf of his father, Seth Rogers. I think things are heating up. I really, really do. I do think things are heating up. And whether, I wasn't there to hear the phone call or whatever, but we are aware that the high ups know. I've been told DHS knows. We've been told the White House is aware of this case. That's why I've been so shocked in all the promptings of trying to get Sumner County to do something and get involved. They're adamance against doing so has really shocked me, because they had to know that, well, like Vinny Palutan said the other day, this has become a battle between law enforcement and the true crime community. And the true crime community, we don't stop. Did they really think they were just going to keep ass slapping? I hate the term too. It's very crude, but they are crude to me. And no one else was going to swoop down and put eyes on them? There was got to be one case that came across in the history of whatever is going on in Sumner County that they had to understand was going to get so high profile that everything was going to crack wide open. What else is going to crack wide open? When outside agencies say there's generational corruption in Sumner County, that's shocking. Generations of it. Generations. Minnie, thank you for gifting a Crime Time membership. Please thank Minnie if you are the recipient of that. Minnie, I really appreciate it. And thank you for being such a loyal mod. Be kind to everyone. Thank you so much for being here to mod. Also, hi, Cinderella. Hello, Brown Eye Girlies. Hello, everyone in the house. We are just, hi, Gypsy. We are just talking about some things. Be kind to everyone. That's funny. I was just reading that. Was that actually the name of someone in here? 501. Oh, hi. Yes, it is. Someone, oh, thank you, 501 Dime Bag Chris. I love the name. I'm sorry. That's hilarious. It's awesome. For those that don't know, Springdale, Rogers, Fayetteville, and Bentonville all run together. So it's like a corridor, 501. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Gypsy, thank you for being here to mod too. Another thing that was shared to me today by a wonderful one of you who does research for me. Did you know that Apple Watches have a walkie-talkie capability? Yes, they do. So I'm looking into that too. There's an app you can download. I will get you more information, but let me show you what I have if I have it pulled up. Oh, here you go. That's what the sheriff is doing instead of looking for Sebastian. Spaghetti with Sheriff Craddock, of course. Wearing his shirt on his name on his shirt instead of helping the child. Sorry, I got a lot up here. Hold on. I'm trying to find something. I hope I'm not sharing everything that's coming across right now, but I want to show you a few things. Oh. There it is. Okay, sorry, y'all. Trying to get to it. Okay. That's not it. Okay. Sorry. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. I think that there are going to be a lot of people shaking in their shoes. Thank you, Minnie, for both of these Crime Time Buzz memberships. Thank you so much. Please, if you are the recipient, thank Minnie Panthers. Thank you so much. I think there's a problem when a child is on the FBI's most wanted and you get their age wrong in your update. Oh, Poppy Love wants some more information, and absolutely, real quick before we move on to the FBI update. And there's a reason I'm moving on to it. Crime Time Buzz Jay, can you explain about the Millersville police investigation information in Sumner County being taken by sheriff? More about this, please. Absolutely. I did some videos on it too. What was going on is there is a sheriff in another town. I believe he's from Millersville. And he was doing an investigation into STing in Sumner County, corruption in Sumner County, drug team, rug teeing in Sumner County, money laundering through the real estate and home industry, and it going far beyond Sumner County out of the country. He had been investigating that with others, and when apparently it must have gotten out. But what happened is he had said that Millersville Motel 6 sighting, when he released information about this, he said all of this is going on in Sumner County and that Millersville sighting of Sebastian Rogers is linked to it. And what he's saying is he was talking about STing, DTing, money laundering, all of that. And he says that sighting in Millersville of Sebastian Rogers is linked to it. He also shared that while he was investigating the corruption of Sumner County, apparently his offices were raided by TBI. His claim is a favor was called in and TBI raided his offices and grabbed all the files. Shortly after that, at his personal home, his family was in the house and nug shots began hitting their windows. Also, around that same time, he was driving and someone that he was exposing for corruption tried to hit him head on in his vehicle. So I will post that video. I will. He is, let me show it to you real quick so you can watch it after this. Let me go here real quick if I can. Let me just see real quick. It is this video. I know about where it is, so hold on. So I'll play the video for you right now so you all can hear it, okay? Because this is important, and then we can go to the FBI update. This is a video about corruption in Tennessee at a local level. If you follow the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, a missing autistic teen out of Sumner County, and a possible sighting in Millersville, this ties into this. They have not escalated the case to the FBI for foul play. I will go ahead and play that for you all, this video, because it's an important one. It chokes me up a little. Guys, I'm on Earth every 3 bouncing around.
Have a percent.
He's a hero in every sense of the word. Craig Sawman Sawyer, a 52-year-old highly decorated veteran, once a Marine sniper and a member of Navy SEAL Team 6.
Friends, I just did a live podcast with 16 million people exposing how Tennessee Bureau of Investigations just raided the chief of Millersville Police Department, raided his home and raided the police department.
As the conspiracy theorists at the center of that botched child predator sting blamed me for that TBI raid, which he claimed is designed to cover up for child sex trafficking in Tennessee.
The locals there who have been victims of organized crime exposed to us that, Phil Williams is a cover-up man, that TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
Okay, that was the wrong.
Designed to cover up for child sex trafficking in Tennessee.
That's the wrong. Hold on. Let me get you the full story here. I'll get you the full one that we did. Hold on. I'm looking for it. Give me a second. Let me just. I'm just sorry. I'm trying to get it off the top fly here for you guys. The right one. It was before that. Maybe this,
cover up for child sex trafficking in Tennessee,
maybe this is it. I don't know why it's stopping on us. Hold on.
which he claimed is designed to cover up for child sex trafficking.
There it is. Here, Ash.
Does your home desperately need a facelift?
Well, if you can paint a wall, you can completely transform it. Just
Flower said, and sheriff died. I know. Lots of
trafficking and many other crimes.
This is credit to Psalm 37:13. Here is the story of what we were talking about.
A percentage of their
May have seen my video last week regarding the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation raiding our police department and my personal residence. They came and they seized evidence regarding corruption that we had locally that tied into corruption nationally, and they took all of our files so that we are unable to complete these cases. The cases that we've been working on affect every American. They affect us in the mortgages, fraudulent mortgages, human trafficking, narcotics trafficking, and many other crimes. We have crisscrossed the United States talking to state attorney generals, senators, Congress people, and numerous law enforcement officials throughout the United States. We've identified a major corruption that's transnational. It involves the BRICS nations and China and investment companies and fraudulent mortgages on homes here in the United States in very key counties and key states. It goes into the election integrity and fraud, and it's creating a geopolitical shift within our political system. This is a multifaceted attack from a foreign adversary who is paying off our local municipal, county, state, and federal politicians to keep from coming to light. We are moving forward with this case in other states and other arenas, even though they have taken our files and our information. This is very important to us. When I say us, I mean we the people.
We the people.
I'm retired Assistant Chief Sean Taylor of the Millersville Police Department. Many of you may remember the video I did back in September after the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation conducted a raid on my home and on our police department, seizing the files that had to do with corruption not only locally, but throughout the United States and transnationally. Just so people have a backstory on some of the things that have happened. My home was shot up while my family was present and I was present. My home was shot up while my family was present and I was present. And people didn't like us telling the truth, and we have bullet holes for telling the truth. That the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation did not investigate.
TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
That the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation did not investigate, and then decided to serve a search warrant on us because they didn't like what we were investigating.
Corruption.
The bullets that ripped through our life when we started talking about the corruption, started talking about the dirty politicians, the dirty judges, and the dirty DAs. Previous to that, I was involved in a car crash where I was hit head on by individuals who had already threatened my life.
What if you could clean your retainer at the touch of a button?
Sorry, guys.
No more brushing or tablets. Over 4 years ago, our team of
Currently, I've been told that there is a civil suit that's been filed against me and my chief by one of the individuals who we're investigating by one of the individuals who we are investigating, because the TBI leaked information to this individual. Because the TBI leaked information to this individual.
The TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
The TBI seemed to have leaked information to the news reporter, Phil Williams of New Channel 5.
Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams is leading this investigation for us.
The TBI seemed to have leaked information to the news reporter, Phil Williams of New Channel 5, regarding a letter that a state representative had wrote as well.
Another Nick Barris to my.
It's very interesting to have the full weight of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation coming down on myself and my agency.
The TBI does have a percentage of their bureau that's corrupted.
Hi, I'm Craig Sawyer, founder of Veterans for Child Rescue. We're a nonprofit organization chartered to expose and combat child trafficking in the United States. And we ran a joint sting operation with Millersville Police Department 3 months ago, and we got 1 arrest and 70 warrants. And 70 warrants. And 70 warrants on other vile and aggressive child predators there. And immediately there was an outlash, a wild reaction by a reporter there.
Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams. There
was an outlash, a wild reaction by a reporter there, seemed bent on covering it up and halting the arrests. From my perspective, I'm just a veteran that wants people to stop harming and selling children. And when I see this wild overreaction that seems to be defending and protecting the corruption there, it's very concerning to me. And so when I saw a reporter going after Assistant Chief Taylor and then the Millersville Police Department, and then eventually calling in favors from a state law enforcement agency that came in and seized the evidence.
And all of the evidence regarding these cases was seized by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and this district attorney.
We were interviewed.
Okay, hello. So that is the explanation about what they were trying to uncover corruption with the judges, with the elected officials, with the housing industry, money laundering, STing, DTing, you name it. Okay. And there was a raid on the offices, and as you heard, on his home as far as NG. Hi, Michael Johnson. Thank you for coming out of the bushes and saying hello to us. Welcome. So it's really runs deep. And you know what? It's not just Tennessee, but eyes have gone on Tennessee because of the way they have not handled the Sebastian Rogers case. We, the people, have expectations. We, the people, support parents of missing children when they're looking for them, when they're voicing they need help. We, the people, expect details to be correct. We expect investigations to be done. And by gosh, if we have a stepfather who's got several reports of abuse alleged, I say alleged because I haven't had them in my hand, from CPS, you better start making arrests. So what we're going to see now, in my opinion, is as it trickles to them that a creator got a call from the White House, I bet we're going to see them pulling up their Boy Scout britches and getting out on the streets, or we better. They're going to be real brave if they're still sitting at eating biscuits at the spaghetti dinner, because this is not going away. You have two choices. Whoever's involved in this, you can produce him and you can confess. And those are your choices. Playing games, running, hiding, hurting others, whoever's involved, you have two choices. You can produce Sebastian and you can confess. Those are your choices. The truth will come to light, and anyone who has helped you out, anyone who has helped hide the truth, anyone who has turned their head away from the truth, anyone who has fibbed rather than tell the truth, when it comes to finding a missing child, will be held legally responsible. And all you county commissioners out there who sat at the command post watching the footage, eating your popcorn, and not ever speaking out for Sebastian, you too will be brought down. And what a shame. What an absolute shame that rather than standing tall for a child, some of these people will have to be taken out forcibly. Isn't that sad? That people who are elected officials, wearing badges, elected, looking at footage at a command post, instead of standing tall, when the sheriff keeps saying we got nothing to point to foul play, they didn't stand up. I guess they're going to wish they had now, huh? Right? They're going to wish they had now. You got them. You got the Proudfoots throwing their relationships in everyone's faces, using first names and all of that. Oh, it's all going to come down and matter now, because everything that's come out of Dirtyfoot's mouth is public record and going to be used against him, in my opinion. I want to end tonight with the FBI update because I find it's really important. One thing I hope that whoever swoops down and takes this over does ask Sumner County for all of the footage from every route from Texas Roadhouse to Stafford Court that night, and all the camera footage that they gathered along the routes to corroborate her story, because that was brought up on Court TV by Vinny, and I think that is essential. That way, we can see if she truly did pull over at the BP. By the way, do you guys know? Well, I was sent something about the owner of the BP, and I'm going to verify it, but we're just going to keep going for a second. But you know, if someone pulls over at a BP allegedly, talking to a dark SUV, very official looking, I receive a message. I was in the, someone was in the car and she pulled over. Well, I thought there were just two of you in the car, you and Sebastian. But I digress. They should know if she pulled over or not, and they will be able to show the bigwigs who come in the footage that they garnered showing no one pulled over there or someone did. But they need to corroborate her statement with evidence. And that's what Vinny Politan, who's a former prosecutor and defense attorney, and he's on Court TV now, brought up. Everything she said needs to be corroborated with evidence. Hey, Babe Bear 90. And so did they take all the routes from Texas Roadhouse to Stafford Court and stop by every business and get all of their footage to see if she went straight home? I doubt it. They didn't even go to Texas Roadhouse and get that footage. They didn't even go to Warsham's. So what did they corroborate? Did they corroborate there was with evidence of that 3-hour that went to 2-hour phone call, where, in my opinion, she's being coached by Dirtyfoot? My opinion. Let's go through this FBI update. And this is Sebastian Rogers is one of the FBI's most wanted. They are offering $50,000. Dog's team is offering $500. So the reward is now at $550, not just $500. This is Sebastian Rogers. He is missing. Please look at him. Please share the FBI flyer. For some reason, Seth Rogers said Sumner County doesn't want the FBI flyer shared. They want their flyer shared, but Seth would prefer you to share the FBI flyer. I don't know why it's such an ego thing with Sumner County. I won't call in the marshals. I want my flyer shown. I don't get it, but you're not doing enough to get the credit. So, and this update was extremely upsetting to me because there's many errors in it. And I would like to read it and go through it. On February 26, 2024, Katie Proudfoot went to wake up her 14-year-old son for school. Now, mind you, he is one of the FBI's most wanted, and he was 15 when he went missing. They have 14. To her surprise, he was nowhere to be found. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had spent the previous day with his mother. The pair shopped at a department store. Pause. I think she bought him shoes there. I think she bought her and him matching shoes. Black with white soles that Seth did not know about. She also got him a haircut. Oh, they played video games at a bowling alley. Now, this is really important. Now they're quoting Brandon Carter for a lot of this, okay? Why would they say that if they ever went and corroborated that statement with evidence and found out they were at the bowling alley for 10 minutes? They walked in, they went to the front desk or the front counter. Sebastian stood behind his mother. He looked a little quite a bit uncomfortable, and they left within 10 minutes. There was no video games. There was no arcade. There was no bowling. So for them to put this out there based on Brandon's, recap of what he was told, Brandon Carter is the lead detective on the case, the only detective on the case, but it is not his only case. That's shocking. That tells me, did you go get the footage? Did you look at it? Did you see they were there 10 minutes? Or were you listening to a person who can't get one story straight? And then they had dinner at a local restaurant before heading home for the evening. And I do want to let you know that I have seen, and I think I shared with you the redacted stuff from Texas Roadhouse, where they continually tried to, Brandon Carter did leave his card there, but he never once returned a phone call. He never once came in for footage. He never once returned their calls when they were asking about the footage, because in Texas Roadhouse, if you remember from that, they wanted that footage saved. The child's missing. So they downloaded it on their own. He didn't even get there. So I'm not real confident he's got that footage, went there for that footage of the strike and spare, but we'll just move on. But I don't think he put it in, he corroborated it, because they were there 10 minutes. Now he's sitting there saying they played video games. Oh, boy, this is going to look so bad when actual investigators get in here. But I digress. After returning to their home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, pause. This is the point Vinny brought up, and it was brilliant. He wants to know how they know he was home. Okay, other than she claims he took out the trash, and, we've heard the whole thing. It's so too dark to realize. And she said you could always realize, and it was lightened up, and all of this stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. What did Sebastian do for 2 hours before going to bed? What's his favorite thing to do? Play his Switch. Did he log into was he on his Switch? Because law enforcement can find that out. I Googled it. Did he log into a laptop? Was he on his phone? Or is she trying to tell us for 2 hours he sat in his closet playing with a paper clip or a fidget? Did he log into anything? What evidence proves he got home? Because right here, they're saying before heading home for the evening. And after returning to their home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Katie and Sebastian prepared for bed, saying goodnight somewhere between 9 and 10 p.m. That's huge. KP has always said, I told him to go to bed at 9 o'clock, and he did. He said, yes, ma'am. Where is this new hour? This hour of between 9 or 10. So for 3 hours, he may have been up before he went to bed. Did he log into a laptop? Did he use his cell phone? Did he text his dad good night? Did he try and was he playing on his Switch? What was he doing for 3 hours if he was up till 10? Because Brandon Carter here is saying they prepared for bed saying good night somewhere between 9 and 10. So if he went to sleep at 10, that's 3 hours-ish. If they really got home that time. So for 3 hours, what sign of him in the house is there? What, did he log in anything? Did they check? Do they know? Then another quote. Katie told us a little bit before 10 p.m. she heard a loud bang coming from Sebastian's room. So she yelled out to ask him if he was okay, to which he responded that he was, said Detective Brandon Carter from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. She told him to go to bed because they had to be up early for the next morning. Okay, so your child, whether they are completely healthy, neurodiverse, whatever, you hear a loud bang coming from the room. I, as a parent, say, what's wrong? As I'm getting up and I'm going to check it out. She didn't. You better go to bed. No worry in her head for all those hours till 6 a.m. when she opened the door to wake him up. Not, I better go in there and look. None of the above. Now, if you hear a loud bang, you're going to follow. I don't believe this narrative. Was that loud bang caught on the neighbors' cameras? You know how like in the Idaho 4, around the time of the crime, they heard a thud from the neighbors' cameras, picked up a thud? Was that loud bang heard? Who heard it besides KP? Because you know, if you have someone like Casey Anthony who can't tell the truth, you got to have seconds and thirds. Oh, allegedly, in my opinion. You've got to have seconds and thirds backing their stories. But what kind of mother doesn't follow when they hear a bang? So, did any cameras pick it up? Or is this just her story? Katie called her husband, who was out of town in Southwest Tennessee for work. Did they verify he had been gone? He was out of town all weekend. Or did they take CP's word for it? Did Sumner County go to Chris Proudfoot's work and see if indeed he was off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Did they go to the RV park where they let him leave to go the next day? Did they follow him? They let him take 2 people with him. Did they forensic that RV? They probably didn't even have the right one returned to the house, because I think what happened is he and Mama Socks went up to Mississippi. They stayed overnight. No one needs that long, especially when you're in a family emergency, and no one needed to leave and go get that RV. He said, well, I was going to lose my job. Okay, good. Then you call the RV place. Your fifth wheel was not sitting at St. Jude's. You call the RV place, say, I have a missing stepson and here's my credit card. I need to pay for a few days before I can come get it. Just because you're going to lose your job doesn't mean you need to go get the RV. And let's pause for a second. Who fires someone for having a missing child? It was his behavior. He was scaring people that day with his attitude and his behavior, that he was going to cause danger to others. The stepfather has done nothing but make jokes. I'll never forget when he had on his Facebook, Chris Proudfoot had nothing to do with this. And then he had a beautiful meal they were sitting down to. He took a picture of the beautiful meal he had just been served. And he said, eat your hearts out. We are. Now imagine if Sebastian's hungry. Isn't that sad? Making jokes, dressing like a sheriff, making fun of YouTubers, like that one YouTuber, he's saying, you know, I hope she swallows this and does that, and it'll be a benefit to her husband, threatening Seth. If Bobby told you what he knows and told us, and you say anything, it's the last thing you'll say. Yeah, that's what this stepfather's done. And why in God's name would Chris Proudfoot, short man, little man, think the TBI special agent should be telling him with CPS reports all over the country, in New Mexico and Arizona? Why would this stepfather think that the TBI special agent should tell him things and not the father? Who the heck does he think he is? Well, it's all coming tumbling down, so eat your biscuit quick, buddy. Because you don't got nothing to show for 2 years that you helped. But there's a lot to show that you ran your mouth and you distracted. And boy, oh boy, I hope no one from the family is connected to the death threats. Not accusing, just saying. Katie called her husband, who was out of town in Southwest Tennessee for work. Notice how he got that in there. And the two of them spoke for nearly 2 hours before she went to sleep around midnight. Now, originally, they said 3 hours. Chris Proudfoot, of course. It's every agency's logged and vetted it. My 3-hour call. Well, now it's down to 2. So did they vet and log all agencies, CP, a 3-hour call or a 2-hour call? Did you go to bed at 11, or was it at midnight when she was falling asleep on the couch and you claimed you both went to bed at the same time? Wait a minute, was that at the same house? Is that why the dogs were in the pen? Because when you're home, they sleep in the pen? When you're not, they sleep with KP? Why would KP pin them that night? Why weren't they barking and waking up KP? Because there wasn't a stranger in the house. That's why. The dogs knew who was in the home, in my opinion. The next morning was the beginning of what would become a massive search effort for Sebastian. And yes, you can make something look like a massive search effort, but let me tell you this. If you don't put up crime scene tape, if you don't separate people, if you don't treat it like a missing child case, if you don't do forensics, if you don't do fingerprints, if you don't stop the trucks from digging in the dirt while you're running dogs through there searching for a child, if you don't get the footage from Texas Roadhouse, if you don't get the footage from Warsham's, if a neighbor tells you there's 2 people carrying someone out of a house and a blob over their shoulder, and you tell them they're not seeing what they think, yeah, I just will question the search effort at this point. Katie called her husband and told him that she couldn't find Sebastian, that he wasn't in his room or anywhere in the house, said Carter, but yet never mentions. KP's never mentioned the garage. That is hands off for her. I looked under the house, around the house, in the house, outside of the house, all over the house, in closets, the bathroom, the kitchen, on the sides of the bed, everywhere. And I jumped in the car. Your car was in the garage. Did you check the garage? Did you look under the car to make sure you weren't going to run over your child? You know, he sleeps in there once in a while, allegedly, because that thing that you married didn't want him in the house when he had accidents, which he has nowhere else except in your home. During this time, and Katie got into her car and drove around the neighborhood and to Sebastian's school, which was less than a mile away from their house, searching for Sebastian before returning home. Interesting that he's saying now that she was up at the school. Love to see the footage, Carter. Did she drive through that loop to get to beach storage, or do you have her searching on camera? Love to hear it, Carter. I think she did the loop and made the entrance off Long Hollow Pike like I showed you. Oh, it's the wrong one. Sorry, right here. She went in off Long Hollow Pike here, went through. Oh, they just called. I better get home. Out the other side and boom, right at Beach Storage, where the cadaver dog hit numerous times on Unit 10, and law enforcement told those around, whoever it was, that he was hitting on dead mice, which, by the way, is just not the case. In the early days of the search, during this time, her husband called the local emergency communication center to report Sebastian as missing. Another thing Vinny said, which we all, obviously to us, why didn't the mother call? If I'm terrified for my child, I'm calling because I want every detail. I want to speak to the people who hear the fear in my voice so they hurry. I don't let someone else do it for my child, especially someone who says either it's him or me. You get rid of him or I will. Which one did it? Did either of them do it? Yes, trauma and abuse can cause accidents, walking on eggshells, nerves, being belittled, humiliated, not paid attention to, thinking the people you live with hate you, that kind of stuff. Absolutely. And that's why it wasn't happening at Seth's. He could wear underwear at Seth's. Another thing, why didn't they ever say if you find him, if you find a pull-up, it's his? No one knew to look for a pull-up. No one. In the early days of the search, it seemed Sebastian vanished without a trace. The case was kind of a question mark, said FBI Nashville Special Agent Robert Barrett. Mom wakes up, he is just gone. There's a question mark, and we've got to figure out what happened. Oh, yes, you do. The question mark only grew bigger as the search went on. There's a question mark because when people don't give correct details, you can't find a child. Okay, I'm going to say something. Carla says, why was your neighbor that was supposedly... Oh, that supposedly Katie was sharing a bed with. Why was he the first cop there? Had he been there all night? I do want to tell you, I spoke with a local source several months ago who, as we were going through things, it dawned on her, talking to some other people, that possibly before Sebastian was reported missing, there was a police car around at their place. The reason I never shared that with you is I could never prove that. But they thought they had seen the Hendersonville cop car there before Sebastian might have even been reported missing, allegedly. Okay. And I know another YouTuber's released it. I haven't gotten to watch his show yet, but I had been in discussion with someone who thought that, and we just couldn't prove it at the time. So I never brought it forth. Yes, he went to the public restroom at Texas Roadhouse. Did he have a pull-up on? He uses the restroom. He doesn't just wet himself. But if you've got a beast and a bully around you, you might. Val says they could be telling Sebastian, your dad knows where you are. No need for you to call him. And I bet Katie changed her phone number and they moved. I bet Sebastian memorized Seth's number. Yes, Sebastian does know Seth's number, but let's remember, like the Cleveland Three, those girls, 10 years in a basement near their homes. They never called. They couldn't call. Elizabeth Smart, 9 months in the mountains right behind her house. She couldn't call. She knew the number. Stephen Strainer, 7 years in captivity. He didn't call. He was afraid that his family was going to be harmed. So they don't always call, my friends. Well, there's a lot of things that have been unprofessional. Oh, Rachel, thank you so much. Hate ask, how deep was the pond behind the home? Could I walk across it even if paying 100, the car, work, van, KP? Yeah, swing to Katie, fold you. Rachel, thank you, by the way, so much for the donation in the comment. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate the $9.99. Thank you. Hate ask, how deep was the pond behind the home? According to Christopher Proudfoot, on him, it was knee deep at the time of the disappearance, but he doesn't know anymore. I find that very relevant, just like he knew at the time of the disappearance that the license plate readers weren't working, but he has no idea now. Interesting, right? For those of you higher ups who are listening, that's another point. Also, and I'm gonna keep going on your comment. If they went out on Long Hollow Pike and they turned left, they would have passed by the volunteer fire station, who would surely have cameras. Or if they went right, they'd pass by the Burns Day School, which would schools have cameras. Sumner County, did you get that footage too? I hope so. Okay. Could I walk across it even if in pain? Interesting. I'm not sure what you're saying in the rest, but yes, it was knee deep on Little Man. So it was knee deep on Little Man. So you would probably be able to walk across it, not across it, but walk through it knee deep because he's short. So the car, work, van, KP swings to Katie. I'm not sure what you mean by the rest, my friend. I'm so sorry. If you write it again, I'll read it. It's got to be me. I've been busy all day. Did a live this morning and then research. Yeah, it was knee deep according to him. So even if you're in pain, you could walk through it because it's knee deep. And Katie, you need to stop the cycle. Be a mom. That's right. Absolutely. You may have been a victim from your mom, but you shouldn't make your child be your victim. I agree. Allegedly, in our opinion. Thank you, Rachel. Great comment. It's knee deep. It was knee deep. Could one walk across the pond in pain? Yes, you could walk through the pond in pain. It was about knee deep and it wasn't that huge. So my guess would say yes, Rachel. Did they move the pond? I thought of that too. Yeah, whatever she's just, I can't wait. The bigwigs are going to come in and they'll shake all this up. And I think a lot of things will rattle to the ground, including a few jaws, heads, and jobs. And we were talking about that this morning. I believe when this is all over, that some people are going to lose some jobs. I also believe there will be people who will no longer be re-elected to Sumner County. There are people who are sitting there pretending they don't know anything, and they do. They know they saw it. They told people who told us. So we know who you are. So tick-tock, the White House is called. You better stand up. Instead of saying it needs to go out of Sumner County, you better get your little self in there and start helping. Are they worth your life? Sebastian did not take any clothes, shoes, money, food, or his cell phone, said Carter. How do you know? How does Carter know he took nothing? What evidence? He found the cell phone. How does Carter know he didn't take any food? How does Carter know he didn't take any clothes? What evidence proves this besides Katie's words? B, you could be absolutely correct. I don't want to think it either, but it could be. The fridge was still locked, Gypsy said. Oh, goodness. Seth, I believe, had been asked that, Caroline, and he did not have one yet. Okay, so his cell phone and cash were both lying on the dining room table where they had been the day before when he went to bed. Now, I want to ask you guys something. Have you heard different than that? I heard the cell phone was on the island and his money was in his room. Yes, thank you. I forgot to answer you. Yes, I thought they filled in the pond. Thank you, Sarah Boone, for helping out with that. I digressed. The pond was filled in. So I heard his cell phone was on the island charging where it always is, and his money was in his room. But we have the lead detective saying here, by the way, he's quoting her, so he must have corroborated this with evidence that he had nothing with him. Because even Eric Craddock, when he did the first interview when they were searching, he said, we cannot prove he did not have his shoes. And here's Eric Craddock back in her story. He didn't take clothes. He didn't have shoes. He didn't have money, food, or his cell phone. Interesting. But I had been told that it was on the island. That's what we had heard. And money in his room. But we have the detective saying they were both on the dining room table. Little details matter. Now we're hearing that the little yellow fidget flashlight, Brandon Carter's repeating, she thinks was missing. But that was the only thing that appeared to be gone from the home. So in her 3-minute search, she determined a yellow flashlight was missing and nothing else in the home. The first week in the search for Sebastian was a massive community and interagency effort. Yes, and it looked really good. You covered 44,000 walking acres, 4.5 mile radius around the home, but you failed to preserve evidence. You didn't even go to Warsham's, which was in your radius, and get the footage. You never went to the Texas Roadhouse and got the footage. You can call in everyone if you ain't going to follow protocol. What does it matter? Did you get the footage to see where the car went? Or do you know where the car went? Perhaps parked in a driveway somewhere around there? This is where they go through and toot their horn about the search, but little do they should really be honest about it and say, neighbors had to call us and say, come get the footage before it ends up getting erased. Neighbors had to call us and say, there's 2 people carrying a blob through the backyards between the houses. No, he doesn't bring that up. Didn't bring up that we failed to go to the Texas Roadhouse, return their calls, or get their footage. Doesn't bring up we failed during that search time to go to Warsham's General Store, a place teenagers might very well go to. And it was in our radius, and we didn't get that footage. Also, we failed to get the footage from the storage unit, even though numerous locals reported to us that the stepmother was there all the way from Gallatin that early in the morning before the child was reported missing. None of that's reported. We don't have a tip line that we answer. We don't return emails. We don't answer ransom demands. Oh, that's right. They didn't mention any of that. No evidence was corroborated with this stuff. It's her word, in my opinion. During day 2 of the search, Sumner County Sheriff's Office reached out to the FBI for assistance and specific resources that could potentially help find Sebastian, who has high-functioning autism. Day 2 is the day that they filed the Amber Alert. Day 3 is the day Ray Whitley showed up, who was the DA who has now ran for the hills after 40 years. Ran for the hills, my friends, after 40 years. And day 2, they got an Amber Alert. I contacted our FBI child abduction rapid deployment team for initial consults, and then they brought in the FBI behavioral analysis unit to assist, said Barrett. The BAU shared a statistic. Okay, this is where they start talking, and it irritates me. 50% of autistic children are prone to wander, but mom has said he doesn't wander. So if you're taking mom's word for everything, take it. They are also naturally drawn to bodies of water, and 71% of fatal outcomes involving missing autistic children were a result of drowning. Okay. That information helped us focus search efforts in and around bodies of water. The search team drained ponds and searched waterways and lakes for Sebastian. What they failed to mention in this is that Mama mentions, and it's known that Sebastian's like a fish who swims in pools but can't stand lakes, creeks, or anything like that because it's dirty to him. So why isn't Mom out there telling him he's not drawn to bodies of water? He's drawn to just pools. In addition, law enforcement searched almost every home in the neighborhood. Yet we didn't. And I'm going to add, by the way, they didn't even contact every RSO. 50 days in, Seth's PI found an RSO that lived very close that they had not even talked to. It's gross. Almost every home in the neighborhood. Well, we know C. Carr's home's not in there. Video recordings from nearby homes and a dashboard camera in Katie's car show that Katie and Sebastian didn't leave the house after their return home from dinner, and that no other cars were seen coming or going from Katie's home during the evening and early morning hours of the night or day Sebastian disappeared. Well, no one said they were coming and going from the home. They're coming from the corner of Kellen and Stafford. That's where the county commissioners told some of the locals. The car pulled up around a little after 3. We'll say 3:06. But what she came into the neighborhood, drove up Kellen, turned around, went down. So, yeah, you forgot to mention, though, that there's a 3 a.m. sedan in the neighborhood that you all know about. You also saw it pull up near Car's house. And people get out with flashlights. You failed to mention this. Almost every home they searched. I wonder what homes they chose not to. Maybe the part-time cop. Video recordings from nearby homes and a dashboard camera showed no cars coming or going from Katie's home. Okay, but that didn't mean it wasn't on the corner of Kellen and Stafford. See how they worded that to make it look like there were no vehicles? They're trying to say, and in the early morning hours, trying to debunk the 3 a.m. sedan. But we never said the 3 a.m. sedan was at Katie's home, did we? And the dashboard camera in Katie's car that Brandon Carter is bringing up here, guess what? Chris Proudfoot said it's not a dash cam, and we're not going to tell you what it was. So what's the truth here, guys? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Okay, TBI, Josh Savley, special agent in charge for the Criminal Investigation Division, has said they have followed through on every tip that has come in. They may have, but I can tell you Sumner County is not. Sumner County, that sighting in Bristol, Virginia is the one I keep bringing up. Seth got in the car and drove there. Sumner County knew about the tip. By the time Seth got to Virginia, Sumner County had never even made contact. Here's the thing that's shocking about that. Katie Proudfoot has a relative that lives in Bristol, Virginia. And Sumner County never got their tushes there or even made the call before Seth got there. Some of these tips we continue to examine at a deeper level, but the vast majority we have cleared as either being irrelevant or ended with no results. Well, how about this, TBI? Why don't you go speak to the agent who day one said where he is he's not coming back from, and you'll probably get a few more answers. because that shows knowledge or location or location. The lack of answers in the search for Sebastian has pushed the community to widely share the story on online platforms, but law enforcement reminds the public to be wary of misinformation from unverified sources. Your unverified source is your mother, in my opinion, who can't tell the story twice the same. This is Brandon Carter speaking, the one who was very upset, mad, and thought it was ridiculous that America's Most Wanted wanted to cover Sebastian Rogers. If you didn't watch my live this morning, please watch it. Lead Detective Carter was mad. America's Most Wanted was coming. You know, the organization that finds kids and fugitives. He was mad. And he even said, this is ridiculous. He thinks it's ridiculous. People want to raise awareness for Sebastian, but yet he'll sit here in a statement and say, Sebastian's disappearance has deeply affected our community. We understand the desire for the community to want answers and for us to explain every step of the investigation, but we can't release all details without risking the integrity of the investigation. And we all hope with all our heart and soul that this investigation has been run with integrity, because that would have been what was best for Sebastian. We ask the community refocus on what matters most, and that's finding Sebastian. We ask that you guys refocus. Stop eating your spaghetti. Stop eating your biscuits. Stop wearing shirts and campaigning for yourself. No one's running against you, Craddock, by the way. Has anyone told you that? As of now, no one's running against you. So maybe your time would be more respected and better received from people who saw you out searching for a missing child than doing something for yourself that's not necessary and moving into your big $1 million home. We ask that the community refocus on what matters most, and that's finding Sebastian. Amen. And you will be refocusing on that, won't you? Because the big dogs are coming in. Staying united and supportive will bring us closer to the answers that we're looking for. They are not looking for answers, in my opinion. They are looking for this to go away, which is why they're not calling in the marshals. If you have been incapable of finding a child for almost 2 years, why wouldn't you call in the marshals? The marshals aren't going to investigate you. They don't investigate. They just locate the child. But for some reason, when Sebastian's located, there's going to be a story that I think some people don't want to hear. Eric Craddock's quote down here blows my mind. Continue to share Sebastian's official missing persons flyer and don't wait. If you see something, say something immediately. If you call right then, we can get someone on the hot trail. It's disgusting, in my opinion. Hi, Kirk. Hello, Val. Hello, Carla. Kiki, hello. No, I believe Carter's lived in his home for a while. I'll have to look at how long he's had that home. I believe he's lived in it for a little bit. But apparently, someone heard on Clues recently, she's talking about the Proudfoots have been helping Craddock move for the last couple weeks. You know, Craddock, the guy who claimed he didn't have a relationship with them. But yet, they're helping him move into his new home, which is, if I'm correct, and I found it, which is why I didn't bring it to you tonight. I need to verify it. They live very close to the Bower Sox. Now, we all know they also said that the trash truck or the lights were a trash truck. And now the FBI came out in this and said that it was headlights. Oh, here you go. A house down the street from Sebastian's had security video footage from the night of his disappearance. The camera angled in a direction that happened to be facing Sebastian's backyard captured two small moving lights. At first glance, the lights appear to be right in Sebastian's yard, suggesting someone was lurking with two flashlights in hand. A potential suspect given Sebastian's disappearance that same night. No one said someone had two flashlights in hand. However, there were two people out there however, when law enforcement further investigated the video, they disproved this theory. The dark sky and camera angle combined had distorted the security footage. When they examined the video in relation to the area, they found that the lights were actually coming from a pair of truck headlights flickering through the trees from about 300 yards. So can I ask this question? They just said what the lights in their opinion were going through the backyard. Okay. It was from a pair of truck lights flickering through the trees, which means the lights existed through the backyard. So I will ask Mr. Cece, the neighbor who lives behind them, with the 7 cameras, the audio, and the night vision, why are you saying you got nothing? Other people captured the flashlights. When Sumner County said there were it was a trash truck, you should have had a trash truck on your footage, sir. And now the FBI is saying they were headlights. You should have captured headlights, sir. How are you saying you got nothing? I'm not buying it. Have they asked him? And we're not accusing anyone. We're not accusing him at all, even though he has a red sports car and a 4-door dark sedan in his driveway that never came back till the following spring, belonging to his son. Used to be there all the time, but after Sebastian's disappearance, it didn't return for almost a year. And he's saying he got nothing. So either he's saying the FBI is not telling the truth, that there were no lights flickering. He's saying Craddock and Carter aren't telling the truth, that there was no trash truck back there. He's saying there weren't flashlights that got out near his home. But interesting, because he should have been picking up lights. Because they didn't say there were no lights back there. They were saying it wasn't from people carrying flashlights. So I would like to know why CC, the part-time cop, it's so bad, didn't have anything on his camera. He should have the lights from according to the FBI, the flickering truck headlights, or according to Sumner County, he should have picked up a trash truck. How'd you get nothing, buddy? Someone's not telling the truth, in my opinion. And then, of course, we have the green hoodie. This one is actually hilarious. And I say it's hilarious because the last sentence. Law enforcement spoke with employees at the restaurant who confirmed this person in the green hoodie was a frequent customer. That is absolutely, we've seen the redacted stuff. Okay. They didn't recognize the person. They didn't help to identify him. Law enforcement went to meet the person. Because I can tell you this right now, based on what we read and saw in the redacted stuff, if they had gone to meet the person that they thought it had been, it would have been a woman that they would have looked at who they watched go into the women's bathroom. Law enforcement went to meet this person. Now get this. This is amazing to me. Who happened to be wearing the same green hoodie in the video. Are you kidding me? And confirmed they were not a suspect. Okay. By the way, law enforcement cleared them within very short time, an hour or so, after 10 months of not even bothering to go get the footage. Okay. And you're trying to tell me they were wearing the same hoodie. Now, criminals are smart. So if someone is indeed trying to pull one over on Sumner County, we could pass the hoodie around, right? I mean, it's just ludicrous. Yes, YouTuber said that his eyes, yes, that truck must have been driving forward and reversing at the same time. Yep. Yes, apparently they are distant cousins. Still blows my mind that Chris Proudfoot loves to say, well, why does anyone get mad when Don Wells says it? Who would want to put yourself in that group? Well, maybe he belongs there, in my opinion. Yes. Apparently they're relatives, but there are Wells staying at hotels. They stay periodically at a motel in Springdale, Arkansas, and Chris Proudfoot has relatives just moments away. Yeah, there's just a lot. But what we have to remember is time is running out. Not for Sebastian. Time is running out for those who have chosen not to do the right thing. And I'm trying to pull him up right here. No. Where's my... Oh, there we go. What has he done to contribute? Right? What has he done to help find his stepson? He's made jokes. He's told fibs. He's admitted to hitting him with a belt. He says once, but his stories change so much with different situations of the belt hitting. Like Nancy said, it's probably more than once. Carla, apparently CB, Kathy, and Don are related. Somehow. Yeah. He has not searched. He dresses up like a sheriff. We're new sheriff in town. Big guy. Right? He's allegedly helped the sheriff move the last couple weeks. The neighbors, the way he used to scream at Sebastian. He hasn't searched. He's not said anything nice about Sebastian, in my opinion. Very little. He's a funny kid. Come on. He made him wear pull-ups to humiliate him a little bit more. He is the reason there are CPS reports. He is the reason he said it's him or me, and then Sebastian was gone. Either you get rid of him or I will, or you do something about him or I will. It's really scary, my friends. He hasn't helped. He hasn't helped at all. He's made jokes. He's threatened people. Seth won't open his mouth again. This girl better swallow a chicken bone. Do her family a favor. She better hope that bitch, that this, that. He's vile. Carla said, Chris will be some big criminal's wife in prison. Yeah, he gonna be her bitch. Hopefully, in my opinion, if he's responsible for this. Because whoever is responsible for this, you're very welcome, Nicey. Whoever is responsible for this needs to go behind bars. Whoever is responsible for trying to stop people from searching needs to be behind bars. Whoever did not investigate needs to be behind bars. And again, if you're so mad, Carter, that America's Most Wanted was coming, why weren't you proud to showcase your town? The whole world would be watching little Hendersonville. You should have stood tall and proud and said, this is how we've handled this. This is what we're doing. No, they hid. They were mad. Embarrassed, probably. They were probably so afraid that America's Most Wanted was going to go to the Texas Roadhouse and hear that the lead detective never came and got footage. They were probably so afraid America's Most Wanted was going to go talk to the locals and find out what the stepfather was doing to neighbors as they were trying to search those first hours and weeks, running them off, running out to their cars. What are you doing here? You know who my mom is? Well, we do now, sir. What has he done to contribute? Putting a big meal in front of him, taking a picture of it and saying, eat your hearts out because we are? You insensitive human being, not even knowing Sebastian's eating or not. Or do you? He has done nothing but get Seth Rogers a hard time and go between Katie and Seth so they could not work together to bring the child home or even to discuss what was going on, because no one is allowed to talk to Katie. But yet, see how defensive he is of her and her statements? But he was ready to leave her. It's him or me. Remember? Cutting off phones. It's him or me. Katie, do you really think that's the kind of man you would choose over your son? Allegedly? Someone who tells you it's him or me? Ew. Eat your biscuit quick, buddy. Or anyone else who might be involved. We're not accusing anyone, but like Craddock said, eat a biscuit if you're going to commit a crime, because no one goes to jail eating mid-biscuit. So eat your biscuit quick, because someone's going to be going to jail soon. Yes, they have been eating. Carla said, it's clear you enjoy your food, Katie and Chris. Believe me, it's very evident. Yeah, boy, have they packed on the weight. But you know, a lot of that, my friends, could be guilt. It's eating them away, fear. They can't relax. They always got to look. Well, they're probably getting real confident now. You know, they're allegedly moving helping the sheriff move, doing all these fun things, you know, rubbing elbows in the right places. You know, they feel popular. Short men like to feel popular. You know, it makes them feel bigger. Mm-hmm. Oh, it could be beer, allegedly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they packed on the weight. I heard Nina's husband is doing the same. CP cannot call and talk to his child. Her hubby says no. Huh. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Rachel. Appreciate that. Well, my friends, the time's coming. Eat your biscuits quick. You know who you are. We may not know who you are. And the reason I highlighted CP on here is because of what Seth Rogers, the father, said last night. He broke up their marriage when they were married. He broke up their family. He walked up to him 30 minutes into him arriving to the house of finding his son was missing. And he said, what are you going to do if this goes south? Why would you think this would go south? You said he was a runaway. Didn't you think you were just going to go down to the high school or somewhere real quick and find him? Why would it go south? Do you know what it means when someone says go south? What have you done, Chris, to help bring Sebastian home? That's what we want to know. Just tell us one thing. Besides making it all about you when you're on the internet. What have you done? Tell us one thing. You haven't been to a vigil. You haven't planned a vigil. You've been to motorcycle shops, but you haven't planned a bike rally like Seth has. You're buying reptiles even though you got rid of everyone the child had. And by the way, kids who are neurodiverse bond to animals because a lot of them don't have friends. You POS. He didn't have friends. You told us that, but you took away his only friends. His cat had to go because you entered the picture. And then all his snakes went because you're a control freak who loved to hurt him. Sorry, guys. I got to get off of here. I can't stand the sight of him. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I got to get off of here. He is disgusting to me, in my alleged opinion. I will be on tomorrow, my friends. We're also going to, I know, I'm sorry. He's so upsetting. I'm grateful I don't have to look at that person. Let me tell you. But if you listen to any of them talk, they sound alike. So let's bring the tower of crap down. Let's blow it all up as far as exposed to the public. Let's get it all out there. Where are you staying now, Chris? You want to let everyone know where you stay? Katie, you want to let everyone know where you're staying? You got Lori in the house again? Who's in the house? First summer, Sebastian went missing and they got Faith. They had Lori staying in the house with Faith. They were too cowardly to stay there. Yepers. So all I want to do is I want one answer from him. Tell me one thing you've done to positively help locate Sebastian. Can anyone help me? Is there one thing he's done? Love you back, Carla. Think on that tonight. What's one good thing he's done since Sebastian went missing? Thank you all for being here. You are amazing, Sebastian's Army. Please go sign Seth's. Let me put the link in one last time before we go. Please go sign this. Seth is he says he is going, this is on change.org. This is his petition. He is trying to get other eyes in here. He is going to, thank you, Sharon. He is planning to serve the sheriff and DA of Sumner County. Hallelujah. He is trying to get an appointment with the FBI locally and in DC. Hallelujah. Apparently, the White House has contacted a content creator asking for all videos, all information, all contact, all stuff going on. Hallelujah. Because you know what? I don't think he'll be moving Trump anywhere. So, they don't have that kind of relationship. But I want to know one thing this guy's done to help find his son, except for belittle, humiliate, and open his trap with things that didn't need to come out, with threats towards the father, towards other people. He's been a travesty to this case. He's been a travesty to Sebastian's life. He's been a travesty to their family. He's been a travesty to the neighbors living around him. He went on a diet. Rachel, you just made me laugh. Please go sign the petition. Please also, we're going to end with our song from Whispering Winds. She's in the house. She's very talented. Whispering Winds, Donna, our new bride. Thank you for our song. Guys, I'm glad you enjoyed the vibe.
As a family, searching clues to find the missing kids around this world, searching far and wide, things that make us cry. Sometimes they are found safe, but many don't get out alive. We fight for justice, for the voiceless. We help one another look for evidence, turn it in and hope they listen to the clues we found, even if it is small. These children are blessings and didn't ask for this. But some aren't even given simple things like love, a little hug, I'm proud of you, just a compliment. Crime Time Buzz is always there looking for answers and help us find you out there. Are you hiding from someone that hurts you? Or did they remove you from this earth because they simply didn't care? Just so you know, America cares. We cry. You notice that you're missing from a dinner table, a holiday, another birthday come and gone. God is with you, my darling, we're trying to find you, searching every day, just so you can play another day. Don't give up on those that really care. You are precious and beautiful, smart and kind, and tomorrow we hope to find you. You are precious and beautiful, smart and kind, and tomorrow we hope to find you.
This is Sebastian Rogers. Please share his FBI flyer. Let me share the tab. Sorry, I'm talking. And please share his FBI flyer. We need to bring him home. We need answers. Sign Seth's petition, please. I've put the link in a few times. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. And if you're in Sumner County, beware of your surroundings, please. Always, wherever you are, but especially in Sumner County if you're not in the good old boys. Thank you all for all you do, Sebastian's Army. We will bring him home. We will stand by Seth. We will do what is needed. Thank you, Lenny Z. You all are amazing. Have a great night. Tomorrow we will be doing a Sebastian live tomorrow night, but we're also going to be doing Michael Vaughn tomorrow. I would like to read the horrifying probable cause affidavit with you. Please join me. That's another case close to my heart. I've been to Fruitland on the year mark of Michael Vaughn's disappearance. Please join me for both lives tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Blessings to you all, and keep keeping on. Talk soon. Prayers up for everyone that you all stay safe. Prayers for Seth's health, for his safety, and Sebastian, hang in there, buddy. We're coming for you. God bless you all. Talk soon.